This is heartbreaking. From injuries to coaching changes to front office beef, the Memphis Grizzlies have concluded the 2024-2025 regular season. They got swept on their home gym against the number one seed Oklahoma City Thunder. And along with Memphis Grizzly fans kind of going at one another in more of a controversial move in the Memphis community, fans not really in the seats for Game 4. They knew their superstar was going to be injured. They knew that likely their season was going to end. But they gave it a tough fight in Game 4, and we'll go over that in just a minute. But what's going on, everybody? Jared Alator with another episode of Grizzlies Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Memphis Grizzlies related. If you find yourself here on a regular basis, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another upload from us. But going into the content, it was a lot of controversy, a lot of physicality in the game. Starting with Jaren Jackson Jr., he got called for an elbow to Alex Caruso in the first half. Matt Infield says Jaren Jackson Jr. just got called for the softest flagrant foul ever. He swung his elbow through and hit Caruso in the face. It was an offensive foul, but a flagrant. Come on, man. And that was kind of the theme we saw for Memphis. That they looked like they were showing grit and grind out there, but they were not smart with it. But then if you look at the foul numbers on both ends and compare them, you start to realize, what's going on here? Kind of like this right here. Right? Let's see if you can see that. The fouls for OKC, yeah, okay. Really, Caruso with no fouls, okay. And then Chet Holmgren with 1. And then you got all these guys with 5 fouls. 5, 3, 5. Zach Edey fouled out of the game. He was not in the game at one of the more important times in the game. A 2-point game with Bane on the line. He missed it on purpose. It would have been perfect for Edey to come into the game to try and get an offensive tip in to put the game into overtime. But he fouled out of the game. And they were just sloppy with it, you know. Memphis fans, I mean, they kind of pictured it. They were just kind of waiting. I feel like they were kind of waiting for the sweep to happen. But they just didn't know how it was going to happen. But they gave it a fight. Especially one guy in particular that we like to call Scottie Pippen Jr. He has entered the Grizzlies' postseason circle of trust. And that's from Drew Hill. And he certainly has. Finished with 30 points last night. And if you look at Scottie Pippen Jr., I mean, he is going to be a guy that's going to stay. He should stay. It would be a catastrophe if Zach Kleiman were to trade him. I mean, this kid has been improving every time. I mean, think about this guy on in a G League 2-way contract just not too long ago. Now he is starting in the playoffs. He's playing an important role in the playoffs, and you just can't say enough about him, man. I mean, he is what Memphis is. The smallest guy on the court, getting steals, getting offensive boards, creating his own shot, handling the basketball. You can't say enough great things about Scottie Pippen Jr., and he's going to be a guy, along with Zach Edey, Jalen Wells, that's going to help build that young core for Memphis even further. So, props to Scottie Pippen Jr. All he has to do is hold his head high. I mean, he did what he did. All he could do was fill that role without Ja Morant, and he did that. And so, if you look at Ja Morant, he paused. This is from DeMichael Cole. Ja Morant paused because he wanted to be careful with his words, but he clearly had more to say when asked how the OKC series turned out. He said, quote, "I had them figured out." Added that he believes the series would be tied 2-2, headed back to OKC if he didn't get hurt. And that's very possible. Right? You look at how he played. The energy in Game 3 before he got hurt was immaculate. And it was just unfortunate the way that he went down, because it really changed the complexion of the series, really changed the energy from the fans. And I would, honestly, I'd say I don't know if I agree to that. You know, OKC, I mean, they're a phenomenal team. I mean, they didn't just sweep an 8-seed team 2 years in a row. which they have done, right? But they didn't just do that. They came back down from 29 points. And yeah, it was without Ja Morant, but you gotta really work at it to come back down from 29 points. And that's what they did. OKC, I wish them nothing but the best. Just wasn't the series for Memphis, I guess. Zach Kleiman. I don't think we can look back at this season and say we're close. He says, no, we're not. So, a team that started out with so much magic and potential, this is how their season ended. Was not supposed to end this way at all. But a season that started out, magic, hope. Even you could say, some fans might even say championship contenders. Back in December, January, some fans were probably even talking about an NBA Finals appearance. And they weren't not crazy to do that. But somewhere along the line, a lot of frustration between reportedly, allegedly, right? We don't want to speculate. Some frustration between Kleiman and Taylor Jenkins led to what we got now. You got injuries, of course. Nothing like the Mavericks situation, but, injuries are still a problem. And then you look at Tuomas, Iisalo. He did as good as he could do, but he helped develop Zach Edey. That, I think, is an improvement from what Taylor Jenkins was not doing. And Zach Edey came up with some of his best numbers in some of the most important games of his NBA career so far. Jalen Wells, obviously, he's going to be an important piece for the future. Whether or not we see guys like Luke Kennard, Aldama, Gigi Jackson, Vince Williams, those are guys I think that are huge question marks to return to the Grizzlies next season. But main keepers, you got Morant, Bane, Jackson, Scottie Pippen, Zach Edey, Jalen Wells. That's a pretty solid core right there. So, that's pretty much a team. Obviously, you need more guys. You need the right bench players to be able to compete. But those four guys that I mentioned, their spots definitely a question mark for the future. That's going to do it for this video. Jared Alator reporting on the Memphis Grizzlies getting swept in the first round of the playoffs by the Oklahoma City Thunder. If you like this video, you can like this video, comment on this video, share this video, comment your thoughts on where Memphis goes in the offseason. Obviously, a lot to look at. They're going to be watching the rest of the playoffs on their sofas, but they obviously got to make a lot of moves. And Zach Kleiman, that's what he literally said. He said, we're not close. And that means that he is all in to make those moves. But Jared Alator, we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, peace.